It's been a really messed up week. 7 days of torture, 7 days of bitter, and my girlfriend went and cheated on me. She's a California dime, but it's time for me to quit her. La la la, whatever. La la la, it doesn't matter. La.
Hi, first off I'm going to tell you about the do's and don'ts of Civic Mirror. One of the don'ts is don't spend all of your money at the hex auction on something that won't make you money in return later on in the game. Another don't in Civic Mirror is don't let people rip you off. If you're going to the person that owns the energy hex buying a unit of energy, don't let them say, well, you give me $500 because I don't like you, or say you're a minority. Don't let them say, give me $500 or otherwise you won't get energy. A couple things that you can do in Civic Mirror that will help you is when you're at the hex auction, buy something like the healthcare unit that will make you money in the long run, so that you can set a price, say for $200 a unit, so you'll recoup the money. Also, another thing to do is bribe people, like with candy or food, so that you can pay a lower price and still get what you want without doing much extra.
I don't mind you coming here, wasting all my time.
The first thing I learned during the Civic Mirror simulation was that the government gets nothing done. In our first year of simulation, we got 2 laws passed. One was taxes, and the other was that there was no more majority-minority in Los Platanos. In the simulation, much like the United States government, you have to have a certain amount of people to vote for a law in order for it to pass. And in Los Platanos, there were very many people that didn't vote or didn't care. Overall, I have learned that the government is a very hard place to get bills passed and things done, because you have to have so many people vote on them and pass them, and levels of government, and once it gets past the House of Representatives, it goes to the Senate, and then the Senate to the President, and then into law. It's a very long process, and it takes a long time, and it's hard to get things done.
Whoa, hey, whoa. I've been waiting on the sunset, bills on my mindset, I can't deny it, getting higher than my income's breadcrumbs, I've been trying.
Another thing that I've learned during the Civic Mirror simulation is that you should get all of your goods that you need to complete your hidden agenda right away. Otherwise, people might run out, or they just might not give it to you. This happened to me my first simulated year in Civic Mirror. I thought, oh, I can just wait and have everyone give me trades instead of me giving them trades. And it didn't work out. I had 3 deaths in my family because I didn't get food or energy, and I learned now that if you don't have energy and food, you die. This shows us how homeless people live. They don't have houses or food. A lot of homeless people die, and that's because they didn't get their food or energy because they probably didn't have that much money. And the same thing is true in Civic Mirror. Last thing I learned in the Civic Mirror was that some court cases are pointless, but some really need to be solved by the government and a high jury and judge. For example, in our class we had one court case that was a hate crime between Jack and Dylan, and that was pointless because nothing happened, nothing came of it, and it was pointless. The other court case we had in the Civic Mirror was Sammy versus Carly, because Sammy stole $70,000 from the government when she was in office. This was a good case because the government needed to oversee what was happening and see why Sammy took the money, if she had a good reason or not. So overall, I think that this mirrors the U.S. because there are many different types of cases in the government, like traffic ticket cases, and there are bank robberies. Everything in between that, and the low profile ones are obviously traffic tickets, and high profile are like Sammy stealing money, bank robbery, and stuff like that. So this is how Civic Mirror relates to the U.S. government. After the Civic Mirror simulation, I understand more why the government does things and why they don't, and just a general idea of what goes on in the government now.
Uno, dos, tres. It's been a really, really messed up week. 7 days of torture, 7 days of bitter.